Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, December 21st, 2017 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I am empowered to do the work to achieve my dreams. And we are working Capricorn. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. That is the name of the game right now. We have Pluto already working Capricorn. We now have Saturn working Capricorn. And today, winter solstice, December 21st, or, summer if you're on that side of the globe, assuming it's a globe. Not going into that debate. In that case, summer solstice. Solstice, a powerful time, but it is also the heralding of Sun into Capricorn. And with the Sun moving into Capricorn, we actually have a very powerful alignment of the Sun and Saturn. And I feel like this alignment is setting the tone for our Saturn in Capricorn transit. My feeling is that this meeting between the Sun and Saturn in Capricorn at 0 degrees is telling us the nature of this Saturn transit in general. 0 degrees, every degree has a planet or energy that it connects with. 0 degrees is the degree of transformation. It is the degree where anything can happen. And surprisingly or not, that is one of the cards that I pulled. And my feeling is, as Saturn moves through and builds to a connection with Pluto over these next few years, there is going to be major transformation in the structure of things. Now, of course, we're going to see this all around us, but it is going to be, of course, most powerful in our own personal lives. So now is a good time with the Sun aligning with Saturn today with the magic of winter solstice energy to start noticing what is it in your life that may need a little bit of a structure shift, that may need some of this powerful transformation energy, that may need you to do the work to help you achieve your dreams. So one of the things that I was thinking about, I have all of the A words that I talked about yesterday, and I added another one. And right before I did the horoscope, I was like, I don't know what cards I'm going to use for Capricorn. I usually have it kind of like planned out, but I've been so wrapped up in finishing up Saturn and Sagittarius and going through all of these lessons that I really didn't have a plan for what my theme was going to be for Capricorn. Been listening, but no theme really came through besides work. It's work in the A game. That's what it's really going to be. And no cards planned. And then I was like looking through my cards. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I saw my new Akashic tarot cards. And I was like, this is it. The Akashic energy, Akashic library, is a metaphysical place. I mean, I've been there. I've been there metaphysically. I've been there esoterically. I've been there in meditation and astral traveling. But it's a place where we connect to our records. We can connect to our past and we can connect to our future. And it's one of those things that I think we always need to remember as we hold our integrity with all the A words, which we'll get into in just a second, is that what is meant for you will not pass you by. And so often we get thrown off our course and thrown out of our integrity by working into being in something that is not for us. What is meant for you will not pass you by. Now, it doesn't mean it's not going to require hardcore work, because we are here to have fun, but also to work and have the lessons. So that's the energy mantra. We are empowered to do the work to achieve our dreams. And that's the other A word that I added to the A words of yesterday. I'm like, I may add more A words. I'd love to hear your A words for Capricorn. But achieve. I added achieve to authority, ambition, and acknowledgement, which I talked about in the Saturn scope yesterday. And then connecting all of these, moving into our achievement and our authority, moving swiftly with our ambition, and getting acknowledgement, working into acknowledgement for stepping into our purpose. But another important A word for this is authenticity. So, our A game is achieve, authority, ambition, acknowledgement, and authenticity. And remembering as we move through these energies, as we look to achieve these dreams, achieve these goals, as we step into our own personal authority, as we honor that motivation, that ambition within us, and we acknowledge these things that are moving us into our purpose and have, accolade. There's another A word from outside. Everybody likes pats on the back. Don't do things to get pats on the back, but we don't like that. It feels good. So as we do that, as we receive that acknowledgement, we must remember to be authentic to ourselves. I think that's one of the things with Capricorn and where we've kind of fallen off course with society. And I was hoping, as I was thinking about this, I was like, maybe I'll get the politics card. Didn't get it, so I didn't get the politics card, but we wear masks to make ourselves seem better in society. There's no need to wear a mask. In fact, it'll be very powerful if we can step into our authenticity. So, A game. Working the A game through this transit. And today, it is so powerful. Set your course. Now remember, with Sagittarius, we take aim. So with Sagittarius, we already kind of have set the course, but the shifts have happened. The energy has changed a little bit. So being that these shifts have happened in the last 24 hours, what are you feeling now? Is there any transformation that you need to make? Now, it's really interesting. The cards I got, so interesting. And I still have more Astro to get into, but the cards are so interesting. Here's the dream. This is where we're going. And, take out the dream of romantic relationship. Maybe that is the dream. But maybe the dream is your own business. Hopefully, the dream is stepping into your purpose. You're not quite there, though, trusting it. And that's okay, because Capricorn is a very practical sign, very connected to the nature of the way things work. Take all the steps, move up the ladder accordingly, even if you run up the ladder really fast, but we're not quite trusting it. And therefore, if we can't trust it, we're not going to be able to get into the dream, which is why there is some transformation that is available to us in and through today to help us get into that trust, to take us out of the illusions or the burdens of the mind that thinks it has to be this way. I think this transit of Saturn and Capricorn is going to show us it does not have to be this way, and there is a better way. When I asked one of my friends, I was like, what card deck should I use? She's like, use something sea-goaty. My Akash library cards are not really sea-goaty, but that's what I do want you to remember in the underlying, that even as you move up the ladder, you can flow up the ladder. In fact, you can float. Who knew you could float? But you can float up your ladder, and you will float up the ladder again, even as you're doing work. And if you're aligned with your purpose, and if you're having to knock everybody else off the ladder, maybe that's not your ladder. Maybe that's not your path. Take a look at that. Achieve, authority, ambition, acknowledgement, authenticity. Keep checking your A game out, and remember, what's for you will not pass you by. So, it's an important thing to remember. Stay in your integrity. All right, so besides this powerful energy that really is setting the course for the next 3 years of our Saturn lessons, and just a reminder, Saturn is a master teacher. So even if you are not strong Capricorn energy, you will still be getting worked, and you will still need to work with this energy. Oh, that's so funny. I wrote Saturn A game, Saturn A game, Saturn's the master teacher, and we're on the change bus. That's what I actually ended up writing. We're on the change bus, we're on the change school bus, and Saturn the master teacher is driving us so that we can give our A game. So, beyond that, we are actually in our last day of retrograde, which I'm really grateful, because sometimes words get so hard with retrograde, but this is important too. We just wrapped up Saturn and Sagittarius, but I do think that Mercury retrograde has been going through, and any of the leftover confetti the Saturn may have left in Sagittarius, Mercury's going through, brushing it off. You may get a few more insights coming through in this last little bit of retrograde. So let's see, what time is Mercury going retrograde? Or direct? See, I'm still in it. Mercury is going direct on Friday at 5:50 p.m. Pacific time. So, basically 2 more days of this to work through. But if you're watching the scope on Thursday, it's happening on Friday. But sweep these things up. Now, what I love is that the moon in Aquarius is connecting to Mercury, and it is connecting at 13 degrees. That revolution, evolution degree, and Mercury brings that revelation. So you still may have some ahas. Part of your transformation may be some more of this brushing off. Maybe this remembrance from within you of the achievement, the authority of yourself, your ambition, your soul ambition, and the acknowledgement of this will help sweep off some of this old confetti, some of these old beliefs that need to go. 13 degrees, though, that revolution, evolution. There may also be some triggering conversations. Stay very connected to what your vibrational nature is in this, though, and see if you can remain true to your vibrational nature. The other thing that we have is the moon in Aquarius will square Mars. It's again, stay very connected to your vibrational nature. And it's like one hand, that moon in Aquarius is like, I have these goals and humanitarian, and Mars is like, it's all about me, baby. I'm going to do this for myself. Mars and Scorpio really can connect us to that root chakra survival stuff. And so you may be coming from that energy. And that may be why you're kind of wanting to knock people off the ladder. You don't have to knock people off the ladder to survive. It's not that kind of world anymore. If you think that that's what you need to do, there's some thinking. And there's some root chakra stuff in there that you need to shift. I will remind you, there is enough love in the world for all of us. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about romantic relationship. I'm talking about food. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about places to live. Whatever it is that you truly desire from your core, there is enough of that in the world, and the universe can provide it. So just remember that, and you may find yourself coming to a little head in that opportunity for healing. So that's it from that today. Let's read this. I picked this card, and this is what made me decide to do the cards, besides the whole A thing and the future and really moving into the future. But this card was so perfect, and I'm going to read two little parts of it. I pulled the Akashic Library. And this is a major arcana card. It's actually equivalent. Is it equivalent to that? Technically, it's equivalent to the High Priestess card in traditional tarot, but different connotation. So, in the Great Library, candles cast a glow upon the books in the tall shelves. A sage sits thoughtfully with an open book on his table and a quill in his hand. Sometimes this card can indicate writing or publishing a book for you, but this card also symbolizes a new initiation, an ability to manifest a new life in every way, 100%. You have moved deeper into the Akashic records and to a higher self-awareness. Further investigation may be required, but you now have a better understanding of your old motives and new purpose. It's a time of heightened intuition as well as a greater self-creation. During this phase, all you have to do is add a little conscious effort to write your new records of Akasha. To get started today, write one simple declaration about the future that you wish to create and repeat it to yourself often. Then decide one thing you can do to make it happen and do it. Anything can happen now. The breadth of the landscape before you rests solely on the scope of your imagination and your will to own it. The Akashic force for this is kind of a little thing you can do right there at this moment. As you close your eyes, envision yourself stepping into the most beautiful and serene of all ancient libraries. Imagine yourself taking a book from a shelf and opening it to a page. Notice the first word that comes to you. What does it tell you? How does it feel? Remember to visit this mystical library often and tap into the expansive wisdom that is yours. So what is that word for you? That word is taking you deeper into this Saturn and Capricorn transit and is setting you up. You know, in winter solstice, there is magic in this energy. It's a return of the light, or, you know, a herald of the darkness, depending on where you live on our beautiful earth. Anyway, that's it for today. Book a reading if you want to dive deeper into your personal chart. The better it gets, the better it gets. And there is enough love in the world for you. Namaste.